but I don't think we're at the level where we can make 4 or 5 changes and then go and expect the same level yet.
You mentioned about the defense and obviously it being back to what we knew the defense to be like. And then obviously Partey, like we say, is probably the biggest omission from what would be a regular starting lineup and stuff. It looked like home, like I suggested. It looked like something we're used to. Should the tinkering now stop? You mentioned that obviously, he's been doing it and we know why he's been doing it. And yes, we've been experimenting. We didn't get away with it last week at Fulham, but now we've scored a big win over United. Although obviously those watching the match saw the circumstances and everything. Should the tinkering stop here? Zinchenko's back. Gabriel comes back in. If that was the tactical thing you were doing, because Zinchenko was there, you had to play someone inverted. So you had to drop out Gabriel. All these men are back now. Is this the team you want to see and the regular tactics similar to what we done last year? Is this what you want to see kind of going forward from here on out?
That's what I want to see. And I think it works for us. It's what we know. And my problem isn't even the tinkering. It's just the amount of tinkering he's doing. If we go into different game states, they see the tape for the other teams. I think we've got Everton away next. If he says, you know what, this game, I want to play Havertz up top, even though I think he should hit the bench. But he says, I want to play Havertz up top. And he says, I'm going to go with these man, Martinelli, this and that. And if Partey was fit, I'm going to go Partey Rice in the middle with Odegaard for more steel because, they like to bully. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But when you're doing all these things that I think they're just a little bit too, when you're doing all of that and then you're saying you're going to play Kivior to invert, and then you're saying you're going to stick Declan Rice at right centre back. All this, it's just he's doing too much at once. And again, in my very limited and unknowledgeable, in that sense, opinion, I just feel like little at a time, and let these things settle. So then, if the time comes that we need to make wholesale changes because of injury, because of rotation, then it's able to work. I just feel like when you make so many changes and you try to get that to work and it doesn't, then it feels like it will never work because we didn't get to do it in a way where it's just going to flow. A lot of the time, I remember when Wenger used to bring in, was it Wenger? Yeah, when he used to sign someone, he didn't play them for the first game or two and just let them sit on the bench and just watch the game, especially when they came from abroad, and just watch and just see how the team plays, get the pace of the game, and then come in. So kind of having that approach to just tinkering in terms of, okay, I want to now try Kivior at left back and invert. Let's do that and just have the rest of the team normal, Or maybe if you want to make a change, maybe just up top, not too many connective tissues together making those changes. So I think the tinkering on the wholesale changes, especially in these key areas where we kind of have those differing tactics, need to stop. But 1 or 2 in a game, again, where we can see that it makes sense for the opposition, fine. But if we're at home, for example, against anyone but the big teams, it should just be, barring injury, it should just be a set team. There's places where you can, if you're up against Burnley or Sheffield United at home, you can rest Gabriel Jesus and play Nketiah. He's got more than enough. If you want to, you can even rest play Smith Rowe, or so on and so forth. Those sort of things where you should have enough to do it and you're just plug in and play, but not this doing all these new ideas. I think we're at a place now where we need to settle because that Fulham game was a bit of a bump, but it's fine. It's still early doors. We got this United win. Now we need to pick up the points.
Yeah, I think as we were asking the question in pre-season, was he experimenting too much? People answered that, that's the place to do the experiments. Cool, fine. We're playing in Premier League now. So the place to do the experiments, we can all agree, isn't here. I loved what you said. It's all about incremental changes, bit by bit. Like at the very worst now, the tactics should be set and be the same. The results, although we know the performances haven't been the best, the results read 3 wins and a draw. So we ain't lost nothing for you to say, oh, we've changed the tactics. In terms of the personnel, I don't think any more than 2 changes per like starting lineup. And that might even be too much. Like, and keep the skeleton of the team in, the spine. Make sure them man are there. Like right now, I guess the strikers, our number 9 is kind of getting back to fitness or whatever. So Eddie's in there and doing a good job. Odegaard's got to be there. Rice has got to be there. Gabriel and Saliba have to be there. That is the spine, alongside with Ramsdale. That is the spine of the team. Yeah. Then we have fixtures like Saka and Martinelli, which we know are a given at this point. So it really just puts Havertz's position in the conversation. Ben White should probably stay there for the benefit of Saka. So, and Zinchenko, the only reason I don't name him is because he's often injured. Yeah. Like the team is almost set. So if you're managing Zinchenko better, then okay, you might need to bring in a Kivior every now and again to start, and then you can close the game with a Tomiyasu. Like we were just talking about before with the Havertz situation, it may not be Havertz, it may be Trossard, it may be Vieira, it could be Smith Rowe. Small changes depending on the situation, and it just has to be these particular men that we're now talking about. There's a whole host of men in the team that I don't see why you would need to drop. Who's going to come in for them and have the similar kind of impact. So he's got to revert back to what worked. It didn't fail. It didn't fail. All we needed is now what we almost have is better players playing within that system. Yeah. It didn't need to change. So it's time to go back and post international break, we get it cracking.
Yeah. No, and I always look at City in terms of the way they do things, and I feel like that's the goal. And I still feel we're not there yet in terms of they will swap out from last season, maybe Mahrez and Grealish for Foden and Bernardo Silva, and then maybe they'll change Ake and Akanji and all that sort of stuff. But you're hearing the quality of the player, and I'm saying I'm happy because we are getting the depth, but I don't think we're at the level where we can make 4 or 5 changes and then go and expect the same level yet. I want to get there. I want to get there and be able to see any team there and just be like, we move. But even with City, this is the thing though. Even with that, there would still be some drop off. If we were able to speak to Pep now, he would have a team. He'd be like, yes, but you're definitely going to see some drop off when he does make those changes. But the level's so high that they're still getting the wins. So you're not really looking at it eagle-eyed. But unfortunately, I don't think we're there. So, and even with that, Rodri don't come out the team. When De Bruyne was fit, maybe let's say a season or 2 ago, he weren't coming out the team. Up top was a bit funny for them at the time because it kind of looked like they were missing someone. But now, Haaland don't come out the team. When fit, Stones don't come out the team. They have positions which are stone wall, and they have the ability to rotate more because they have the better quality players to plug in and play. I believe we're on our way there, but right now I feel like we're at a stage where our strength is our system, but having now the players on the bench to come in, make an impact. And if we do get someone injured, we're not bringing in these players that we don't want to see. We're not having to play Cedric. With the minimal disrespect, we're saying that, Jesus went down actually, and Nketiah will be all right for a couple of days. We dropped off with Martinelli. We got Trossard. Smith Rowe these are players that we're going to be happy to see. That even in a sense, we're not happy about the injury, but we're fine with the replacement. And we weren't there previously, in totality. But I feel like we're getting there. Even if Ramsdale goes down, we've got Raya who can come in and will probably might even not lose his place. So let's just take it slowly. Especially now, going up to Everton again, it's another game where they'll be playing crap all season. Then we roll over and they just turn into gods. and I'm not trying to hear it this season. I want a very calm 3-0. I want it locked off nice and early. So yeah.
That one there is obviously away game. You say
Yeah, Goodison.
Like it's been difficult there for us in the past. We know that as fans, but we do the right things. Maybe, like you're saying, the answer could be Havertz starts up front in that okay, depending on maybe what they plan over the next couple of weeks and doing training and stuff like that. Jesus may be more fit and ready to go by then. That game, Everton aren't really showing much of anything. I watched Everton and who was it, Sheffield United the other day, and I was telling you, man, like I felt like I was watching Sunday League. Like it was a game for the neutrals, as they say. So the tactics, I think, has been set. The first 11, bar maybe one player in Partey, looks like where everyone's there, everyone's back. God willing, no one loses a leg over this international break or anything like that. I don't know how you're taking international breaks 4 games into the season anyway.
It's ridiculous.
It's let's just hope going forward from here, like the tinkering basically has come to an end, and it's like everyone he needs is here. Let's go full steam ahead at the Premier League.